No matter where you go or what kind of photography you enjoy, at some point, I can almost guarantee that you'll find yourself using your D5100 to photograph friends, family, and people that you meet. Now, getting great pictures of people has its challenges, but don't worry. Your Nikon D5100 has the situation under control. I think we can all agree that some of our most memorable pictures of people are the ones where they seem natural and comfortable in their environment. And that's a great place to start, the location itself. One of the things I like to do before I take any pictures is just take a quick look around. What are the interesting settings? Where's the natural light coming from? What's in the background? What are the people doing? Once I've taken a few minutes to study the surroundings, I can start to figure out where I want to take my pictures. Let's start by taking some candids. I'll start by switching to my 55 to 300 millimeter telephoto zoom lens. To change the lens, I just press this button here and rotate the lens clockwise until it releases. Then I take my other lens, line up this white dot on the lens with this white dot on the camera body, and rotate the lens counterclockwise until it clicks. I also want to just check that the autofocus is on by switching this to A. You also want to make sure vibration reduction image stabilization is also on by turning this switch to on. The zoom gives me a lot of framing possibilities. It lets me stand back a little away from my subjects and then zoom in tight to grab some nice candid shots without them even knowing. I'm also going to use the aperture mode just by turning this mode dial to A. Aperture mode will let me select the aperture I want while automatically selecting the shutter speed to give me a correct exposure. By choosing a wider aperture, meaning a smaller f-stop number, such as f4.5, I can create a shallower depth of field and let the camera focus on the person in my frame, softening the background, minimizing any distracting backgrounds, and directing the attention on my subject. I'm also keeping my focus mode on AFA so that the camera can select the appropriate autofocus setting based on the movement of my subjects. Here are a few other hints to get great images and movies of people. Probably one of the best is to just shoot a lot. You can fit hundreds of images on an SD card, so keep on shooting. You never know when you'll get that moment. And speaking of moments, I try to capture images of people interacting with each other, having fun and being natural. I like to think of my pictures and movies as telling a story. You want a viewer to get a sense of the day or the event, and even the personalities of the subjects, just by looking at what you shot. Sometimes I like to take a break and show everyone the images and movies I'm capturing right on the LCD monitor. It's a great icebreaker and usually loosens everyone up a bit. And once they see the great shots you're getting, I guarantee they'll be asking you for copies.
Oh my God!
I love candids, but there are times when you're going to want to take more posed photographs, and that's fine. But instead of the standard shot of people all in a row, try a few of these ideas. Play a little with the composition and the placement of your subjects. Take charge of the situation and try placing people on different levels, or work with the foreground and background. It can make all the difference in your shots. Sometimes you'll get better pictures if people are a little distracted and less self-conscious, so give them some props to hold, or even use an interesting structure and let them lean on it or stand around it. Again, it's all about letting the picture tell a story. This is also a great time to use the single area AF mode. I just use the multi-selector here to focus on my subject's eyes, then press the shutter release halfway to lock in the focus, and then reframe for a better composition. And don't forget about you. Just because you're the designated photographer doesn't mean you can't be in some of these memorable shots you're taking. It's easy. Just flip out the vari-angle LCD monitor, switch to live view, then rotate it around so you can see yourself. Nice. Now go get a friend. Eric, jump in, buddy. Here we go. Ready? Say cheese.
Cheese.
Nice.
Looks good.
Easy. Two good-looking guys, too. This is also where the face priority AF mode really helps out. And here's another fun way to include yourself in your pictures. Set your camera up on a tripod and frame up a nice composition, giving room for yourself in the picture. Then use one of these, a Nikon ML-L3 wireless remote. Now you can join your friends for pictures both candid and posed. All right, here we go, guys. Let's get some shots. Now, if you don't have the wireless remote, don't worry. Another great way to get in your shots is to use the Nikon D5100's built-in self-timer. Just press down on the function button, then press the shutter release. The camera will start to beep, and now it's time to get in your shot. Taking pictures in direct sun can sometimes present a few challenges. Usually it's best if you can have the sun behind your subject to avoid any hard shadows, but sometimes that means their faces are a bit dark. No problem. Your Nikon D5100 can help. This time, let's use the portrait scene mode, just by turning the mode dial to the icon of the woman with the hat. Portrait mode automatically takes care of a few things. First, it sets the autofocus and ISO. Second, it automatically selects a wider aperture to narrow your depth of field and soften the background. And finally, it gives your subject soft, natural skin tones. But it also senses when I need this, the built-in flash, even out here in the bright sunshine. This kind of flash is called fill-in flash. It will help fill in the shadow areas of the image and create a well-balanced, natural-looking picture. So, we just used flash outside to help fill in the shadows, but now that we're inside, seems only natural to use a flash in here too, right? I'm still in portrait mode so that the camera will choose a correct exposure. And again, it'll automatically activate the flash when it senses that it needs it. The on-camera flash is great for a lot of situations, but if you're in a bigger room, or if you want to be a little further away from the crowd while you're shooting, you'll want to use an accessory flash with a little more power. Like this, the Nikon SB700 Speedlight. Just slide it right here on the accessory shoe. Lock it in place and turn it on. Now, your flash is directly connected to the camera's computer so that you'll get great pictures even up to 40 feet away. Hey guys, whenever you use a flash pointed directly at your subjects, you may notice that the lighting can be a little flat. So, let me show you this little trick. Take the flash head and do this. When I use a flash like this, it's called bounce flash, and that simply means that when I take a picture, the light from the flash will bounce off the ceiling and come down on my subjects, giving my images a more natural, softer look. But that's not all. The SB700 can also do this. And bounce the light off of a wall, giving my subjects a very flattering side light. But what if you want to be more of a fly on the wall and take candid shots without everyone noticing? Try this. Take the flash off and turn the mode dial to the no flash auto mode, which is the icon of the lightning bolt with the slash through it. This will turn off the flash, but thanks to the powerful auto ISO capabilities of your Nikon D5100, still allow you to take terrific shots.